Hi y'all. We back with another video. I'm sorry it's been a handful of days, but I haven't been feeling it lately. I've been in my brain a little bit. I've also been trying to make my music and get my music producing skills up there. Learn from my best friend because he produces music. You know, I've also been trying to get back into school and stuff like that. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about imposter syndrome because lately that has been eating at me. That's been eating at me like crazy. Sorry if y'all hear the wind freaking going all over the place, but it's cold out here. But anyway, imposter syndrome sucks. I might be misconstruing this, but if I remember correctly, it's that feeling of where like you feel, well, it's in the, I don't want to use the word in the definition, but it kind of feels like you're not like the rest of the group, and you feel like at any given moment the people in that group can sense it, and you feel like, oh man, like I feel like I'm pretending, like you're performing for people in a lot of ways. Something in you want to impress them, you want to perform for them, so they give you that sense of validation. And for some freaking reason, I feel like that in every aspect of my life right now. And that's hit me, like that feeling has come back hard with a vengeance in the past few months. And it sucks to be at work and feel like, ooh, man, I'm not like these guys, and I'm trying to be like them. I want to be in with I want to be in with the guys, and then I'm at home staying over at my friend's spot, and I'm trying to be a part of the family, even though that's not my family. It and then it gets you thinking, dang man, and then you also start thinking, well, dang man, I must not be doing something right if they got the stuff that I like to have. They have that in their lives, and then you just start comparing yourself to them, and you go in a downward spiral of negative thinking and misbeliefs that you tell yourself. And it really sucks. It sucks. It really does, because I try so hard to be good, and then something comes up, a situation comes up where my ego, my jealousy, my envy, my insecurities come back up to play, and then I'm thinking, God dang it, I really thought I had that under control. I really thought that I did something about that. I thought I made progress. Well, what's going on? And then I keep having to remind myself that it's a daily thing. It's a daily work in progress. Is a daily process that you have to endure and constantly work on, work in to be better every day, better than who you were yesterday. I hope. I'm trying to do that, but it gets so complicated because I'm one of those guys where, like, I've always wanted to be with someone romantically, a girl that gets me, and all these things, and she's there to support me. She's, working and taking care of herself, like like I am, and trying to, or at least like work with you. We could laugh, we could be serious, and knows when to flip between the two, and all this other stuff. And then I'm thinking, dang man, I see all these couples coming to the job, and I feel like, universe, you're trying to slap me in the face. But I'm also realizing, or at least I'm trying to learn to interpret. But I'm trying to interpret this feeling that it's tapping every time I feel offended by what it feels like the universe smacking me in the face. I'm trying to look at it as the universe is poking at an insecurity, not maliciously, or God isn't doing it maliciously. It's doing it to remind me that this is still something that you need to work on. You never fully got rid of that beast. It's always there waiting to come out. That ego is always trying to come out. That fragility, that childlike desire of not feeling like you're gonna be left alone. All that stuff, and it's painful. It's so painful. It's so painful. But I walk with the punches. But every day it feels like at times I'm pretending. I'm putting on a show. Even though my smile is genuine, there's also a lot of things left to be desired behind that smile. You know, there is a lot of longing behind it. There is a sense of a community that I want, a sense of warmth I feel. Because much like this cold weather, you know, sometimes it feels like I'm freezing up. My heart's turning cold. And I can't let myself get like that. All because it feels like I keep pretending and I'm the dancing monkey for people who never asked for a performance in the first place. Which is weird how we do that to ourselves. We get ourselves thinking that if I can impress them, even that we're trying to impress people that don't care. You know? And feeling like you're pretending. And maybe you are and maybe you're not. But if you are, like I always say, try to retreat to yourself and break everything down logically and really get to the bottom of what's wrong and what's hitting at you. Get a friend, a trusted friend, somebody that can see you from a relatively objective point of view, but also someone that will actually care enough to tell you what you need to hear, and also care enough as to tell you how you need to hear it. You know, all that tangent crap to say is that I've just been going through a lot, and imposter syndrome is kicking me in the butt. I feel like I don't belong. I don't belong in these places, you know, that I find myself in. That these people seem to have everything together, and I don't, and yet I'm working and looking like I do in the process. And it hurts to feel like you're trying to look like what seems like a finished product. You're trying to deliver a finished product when you're not a finished product yet. Like you're not fully there. And yet you're working to look like other people who may also be unfinished product, but you have it in your head that these guys must have it all figured out. These couples must have it all figured out. These parents must have it all figured out. And a lot of the time, 98% of the time, I say 95% of the time, they don't. They're just winging it like the rest of us, and they're doing their best. And all I can say is I'm really trying. I'm trying to remain good and not convince myself that I'm bad and then fall into a spiral to where I do become bad or something worse in the process. I'm trying to remain who I am, but then it's like life is trying to press your buttons. It's trying to poke at you. But if you reframe how you see it, at least try to, even if you don't believe it, just remind yourself that maybe right now I'm not being poked to break. I'm being poked to be reminded of what can still get under my skin and what needs to change, what needs to improve. And I'm trying to remind myself of that every day. So when I feel like I don't feel like I belong, I'm not doing this, I'm like, maybe it's because it's hinting at a deeper truth that I'm afraid to admit. Maybe there's some truth to it. But then I go, oh, no, that can't be it. No. And then you remove yourself from being accountable. You become scared of it because then you have to admit when you're wrong. And if you're scared to admit when you're wrong, you're blind to it. And then you will always end up doing things wrong and then not admitting when you're wrong. And then you keep trying to prove yourself that you're not wrong. And then it keeps that cycle going. And it's like, if I feel like I don't belong here, why do I feel like this? Okay. Well, I feel like this because, okay, and why is that? Like, get deeper, you know? Instead of asking yourself so many questions about who you want to be, and you're searching for external validation, you ask the deeper questions that really gets to the bottom of one particular thing. Your spirit, your soul, your growth is what matters. And nothing else. And I might look back at this video laughing at myself when I'm in one of those moods that I don't feel like I don't believe it, but I'm doing this for myself as much as I'm doing this for y'all. So thank y'all for listening. Let me get back inside and eat before I freeze to death. Love y'all. Much love.